Hello, everyone. I am so excited to welcome Regina Olasin. She is the author of Words on Water. Regina, can you tell us a little bit about your book?
Certainly. Words on Water is really about the passage of time in your mind and over water because what I wrote were my ruminations as I commuted on a ferry for 4 years from 2016 to 2020. And after about 2 cups of coffee, instead of constructively reviewing a million emails, I would sort of write things that came in and out of my mind, and it touched on a lot of what would be called probably daydreaming, but it was really the passage of time while I was on water for that period of time.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love this so much. Regina, what was your inspiration for writing the book?
Well, interestingly, I found I retired and I had time. I always had this idea that I would like to write creatively. My career had been 37 years of documentation, and I thought, oh, I can write. Incorrect assumption. Documentation is not something that anybody but lawyers and insomniacs would want to read, really. And so this was something that I found. I had these things I had written over a 4 year period on my iPad, and they were not documenting anything. They were somewhat different than documentation. And I thought, well, let me see how this comes together. And as I assembled them in chronologic fashion, I realized it's very disjointed. And I talked about, people living and babies coming into the world and friends and dinners and sunrises, a lot of sunrises, and thought, well, and some world events that occurred between 2016 and 2020. There were plenty of them. And I thought, well, it needs a narrative. So I went and sort of alongside I called it prose. It was classified as poetry. I don't know that I would have been so arrogant as to call it poetry. I wrote a narrative and kind of came up with prose and narrative is my categorical description of what Words on Water represents.
Well, I really like this. It sounds like you had some time to just enjoy life and to also put those enjoyments into words for other people to enjoy as well. And I really, really think that that's beautiful and special. Regina, is there anything else you can share with us about your book or any of the messages in your book or anything else about yourself?
I'm a retired primary care physician. I practiced for 37 years in different places, and you see things different times. And I think to some extent the commute was the last chapter of my career, and it was the most wonderful commute. I was sitting, kind of watching the world go by from New Jersey into New York City every day, and depending on the time of year, I got a window into magnificent sunrises, and depending on how late I worked, sunsets. And I was kind of sharing, looking at the same things differently, or seeing the same things through a somewhat different lens periodically, and the constructive part of daydreaming. I think that there's a lot to be said for, when you're not actively engaged in a lot of other things. And I guess that would, enjoy daydreaming. And if you have a notion that you would like to write on, definitely. And it encouraged me to continue and to try to assemble a new project as well.
Yeah, I love that you're encouraging daydreaming. I think that that's really important that our minds aren't, I feel like our minds are so constantly engaged in things that it's really important to give your brain a break and just to do that daydreaming and that creative thinking. So I love this idea. It sounds like a really great book. Thank you for sharing, Regina. For anybody who's interested in picking up a copy of this book, again, it's Regina Olasin, and the title is Words on Water. You can get it on barnesandnoble.com, amazon.com, and Apple Books, to name a few. Thank you so much for being with us today, Regina.
Thank you. My pleasure. Take care.